Hello everyone, welcome to this live video lecture brought to you by A.A. Shah's Young Lawyer. So in this today's lecture, we are going to discuss legal aptitude for common law admission test, that is your CLAT 2019. So we have already discussed for CLAT before, and we already discussed legal aptitude beforehand, but now we will also discuss today the topic that we are going to discuss for legal aptitude is the preamble. So we are going to discuss about the preamble of the Constitution of India. So preamble is basically the introduction to the Constitution of India. It was adopted after the Constitution of India was adopted. So after that, an introduction to the Constitution was necessary, and that introduction is known as the preamble. Now the question arises that is the preamble a part of the Constitution or not? So according to the last judgment, that is in the LIC of India case of 1995, the Supreme Court held that preamble is an integral part of the Constitution, but it is a non-justiciable part. That means you cannot go to a court of law to enforce the preamble. There are certain parts of the Constitution which are justiciable, for which you can approach the court in case you want it enforced. Whereas there are other parts of the Constitution which are non-justiciable. Alright. Now moving ahead, let's see the text of the preamble. So India is not the only country which has a preamble. There are many other countries, like the US Constitution also has a preamble. The Indian Constitution also has a preamble. Right. Now what is the text of the Constitution, preamble of India? Preamble of the Constitution of India, it says, we, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, liberty, equality, fraternity. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1945, do hereby adopt, enact, and give ourselves this Constitution. Now here, what is important is that we understand a certain keywords. What are these keywords? Sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic, justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. So these are the keywords that we have to understand. Moving ahead, what is the first keyword of the preamble? It says sovereign. This means that India is a sovereign nation, that it is free from the influence or the rule of any other country. This does not mean that India cannot be a member of any international organization. If India is a member of an international organization such as the United Nations or the Commonwealth, it still remains a sovereign nation because it still makes its own rules, it still makes its own laws. The next keyword is social. So India is a socialist country. Now socialist is a country where people have where country serves actually as a welfare state. Now how does it serve as a welfare state? So there are two types of socialism in the world. One is democratic socialism and second is communistic socialism. So communistic socialism is what you observe in a country like China maybe, and democratic socialism is what you observe in India. So socialism means that India basically has is a welfare state, and the government will work for the welfare of the people. So that is why we have something known as the directive principles of the state policy, which are basically the guidelines based on which the government should be forming any laws, right? So this is one of the this is one of the keywords of the preamble, that is India is a socialist nation. The next word, next key term is secular. So this was a key term which was not initially in the original text of the preamble. This and socialist, they were both added by the 46th Amendment Act. So the term secular was added by the 46th Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976. Now the word secular means that India is a secular nation which has a positive secularism, that is all religions in the country are treated equally irrespective of the strength of the religion. Next is democracy. India is a democratic nation. Democratic means that we are a country which is governed by people. So democracy, demo, people, cracy means rule. So democracy, ruled by the people, where people elect their representatives. People, they decide, they elect their representatives and decide who is going to make laws for us. So such type of democracy that India has is actually an indirect democracy. There are certain countries which have a direct democracy. Direct democracy would mean that they directly ask a question to the people, or directly take an opinion from the people. We have something which is known as the indirect democracy, as in we elect certain members of the parliament or certain members in the state legislature, and they make laws for us, they take decisions for us. So India is a democratic nation, but we have an indirect democracy in India. Moving ahead, the next word is republic. Now, the democratic polities in the world, they are divided into two types. One, you have the one you have is a monarchy. So monarchy basically means that you have one family which has a king. So that sort of a system is seen, maybe in the United Kingdoms. Whereas in Britain, so whereas in India, we have a republic wherein we have an elected head of the country. So we have an elected head in terms of the prime minister, elected head in terms of the president. So we have two kinds of heads. We have a real head and we have a nominal head. So the nominal head is the president and the real head is the prime minister. Next term is justice. So preamble says that we have justice in social, economic, political sense for all citizens. This justice is ensured through our fundamental rights and directive principles. So India will have justice and law will be equal for everybody. That is what the preamble says. Next keyword is liberty. Liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship. So India has a liberty. So all citizens, they are free to have a liberty of thought, of religion. This is ensured through our fundamental rights again. The preamble of India talks about equality, which means that there are no special privileges for anybody in the society. This all citizens of the country, they are equal. Preamble secures that all citizens of India have equal status and opportunity. So this embraces civic equality, political equality, and economic equality. The next and the last keyword is fraternity. The term fraternity means a sense of brotherhood. So the Constitution promotes this feeling of fraternity by including a system of single citizenship, which we have already discussed. So in India, we have only the citizenship of India and not the citizenship of any state as such. So we are all the citizens of India and India alone. And since we are such a multicultural, multilingual, multi-religious state, it is very important that we have fraternity so that the spirit of brotherhood is maintained in India. Now, these were the various keywords in the preamble. So I hope you understood these basic keywords. Another thing there, that is that what is the significance of this preamble? Since I already told you it is non-justiciable, that means you cannot go to any court to enforce the preamble of India. So then what is the significance? Why have something in the constitution that you cannot even go to the court for? In case, somebody denies you fraternity, somebody maybe denies you your socialist ideologies. So you cannot go to the court for that, as to say that this is given in the preamble and I want this enforced. So what is the significance? So the significance here is that it serves as the guiding light. It serves as the guiding light for the people, for our lawmakers, in case we have to maybe interpret a certain part of the constitution. We can take hints from the preamble of India. I hope this video was helpful to you all. In the next video that we bring to you, I will cover a certain question, certain MCQs that can be asked in your exam based on the preamble of India. So I hope this video was helpful. You can also visit us visit our website for preparing for various other examinations such as the state PSC jobs, banking jobs, SSC jobs, Indian jobs in the Indian Railways, etc. You can follow us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter, and you will keep getting such more updates, etc. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful.